Yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Remy Chukwunyere. I am the host of the Leadership Talk Show. This afternoon, our guest is already seated, and I'm sure you are happy. You are seeing one of the most influential women in Africa. I'm so excited that we have the pleasure to have Anita Erskine on the show. Did I get it correctly?
You got it spot on, Remy. Well done.
Okay, very good, very good. So today on the show, we are focusing our discussion on how you can turn your passion into a profitable venture. Our passion is a strong desire for someone to do what he or she likes or enjoys doing. So can you imagine when what you are passionate about becomes your business or vocation? That means you get paid to do what you love doing. Wonderful. Now, most people we celebrate today around the globe turn their passions into business ventures and have become very successful. In fact, most of them are in the list of the richest people in the world. Therefore, to critically give us an expose on this important life issue, we have invited Anita Erskine. Or Erskine, whichever one, a popular TV host, actress, and media professional all the way from Ghana. She is a global wash ambassador for WaterAid. She was also the 2021 host of the Africa Netpreneur Prize Initiative, which is an initiative of Jack Ma Foundation's flagship philanthropic entrepreneurship program for Africa. She is also an ardent advocate for the SDGs, girl child education, and women in leadership. Her career in broadcast journalism began in 1998 as a lifestyle TV presenter. Over the years, she has worked in the telecommunications, food processing, non-governmental, government, and diplomatic mission fields. As one of the top 100 most influential women in Ghana, and as one of the top 100 most inspirational women in Africa, she strongly believes that building a business around your passion enables you get to the peak of your career at the shortest possible time. So get ready this morning as I engage on a fireside chat. As I engage her on a fireside chat this afternoon to talk to us how you can turn your passion into a business. Once again, I want to welcome you. I'm sure you're ready with your pen and paper for your questions and your comments. She's here and readily available to speak to us and to share with us her experiences over the years. Welcome once again, Anita.
Thank you very much, Remy. Thank you.
It's so exciting to have you. Despite your very tight schedule, you managed to sacrifice your time to be with us this afternoon. It's really a pleasure, and we are so grateful for that.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay, I just read a brief about you and what you stand for. Let me know, is there anything that I missed?
No. I mean, if I had to capture my entire bio, my entire profile, I'm sure it'll take up the whole time. So you captured the most important parts.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, good. You are a popular TV host. I've gone through your profile, an amazing one at that. I've seen your profile, I've seen your work. You are a popular TV host in Ghana and around the world. So how do you feel, as a celebrity with all the glamour and awards? How do you feel? How does all of those make you feel?
Well, I mean, the truth of the matter is, Remy, it's all in a day's work. I wake up in the morning aspiring to get to work, aspiring to do what I need to do to put food on my table, to be relevant, to be impactful on my community. The thought when you wake up in the morning is not, you're a celebrity, or wow, you're going to win awards. The thought is, what work needs to be done today? How, when, where? Get it done, and chalk that as a success for being able to complete your work successfully.
Fantastic. Okay, so okay, good. So that's how that makes you feel as a celebrity and as award winner, international award winner. So okay, let's talk about your media company. What does Anita Erskine Media all about? Or what do you do at Anita Erskine Media? What do you do?
Well, at a point in time in my life, as much as I enjoyed, waking up in the morning and working for people and doing whatever I needed to do, career-wise or job-wise, I realized that I needed to evolve into a business. And the reality of it all is, depending on who you are, where you come from, what your ambitions are, you can actually turn yourself into the business. I mean, the best seller you have is, it's yourself. So that is essentially what my business is around. Anita Erskine Media is developed to create content using myself as Anita Erskine as the major foundation, as the major root of this business. So it's a lot of TV production content that, have a wide span on various social issues, women's issues, children, education, sustainable development goals. So that is what, essentially the business is, and that is what our focus, or my focus is, to look at myself as, I guess, the stronghold and develop content out of my passions, out of my thoughts, out of my experiences that various communities or audiences can benefit from. Anita Erskine Media is a production company with a special focus on social impact work, using Anita Erskine as a personality.
So is it like, is it a typical example of turning your passion into a business?
Yes, absolutely. It is when you look around and tell yourself that you are the business. You know what I mean? Your thoughts, your words, your actions are the business. Being able, and it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what industry, it doesn't matter what your purpose, it doesn't matter what your focus is, it doesn't matter what your I don't know what your eyes are on. But there's a typical example of looking at myself in the mirror and saying, you are the business. And so the business is not just about how it looks or how it feels, it's about how it feeds you. And it's about what it changes in the environment around you. And it's about not just folding your arms and saying, well, you know what, I'll send in my resume and whatever it is. No, it's about looking at yourself, looking at what you love to do, and turning it into a viable and viable entity that can feed you, but that can also speak to who you truly are innately.
Okay, fantastic. So this is a typical example of one turning his or her passion into a business, and is working out for good. I'm sure that is working. Okay, so let's talk about passion generally. So to you, what does this word passion mean?
Passion is the fire. It's the seed that is implanted in your soul, in your spirit. The thing that you wake up and feel that, no, I have to do something about this, because not only do I like it, but I believe in it. I would sacrifice my entire life for it. If I'm able to grasp what it is, my passion, I don't have a plan B, because I believe in it so much that I know that it'll be prosperous. Whether your prosperity is, financial, or it's emotional or mental. But passion is that thing that is, that first seed, you plant it, and then it germinates into the tree that then becomes your life and your legacy.
Okay, so that's what passion means to you. You said it's a fire that burns right inside your inside your heart, inside your mind, pushing you to do something, right? And then, okay, good. So how do people, actually discover what they are passionate about? How do you have discovered your own? So how can people discover that?
There is no formula for discovering your passion. It's so interesting. Nobody knows where it comes from. It's just something, a thought, a feeling, a raw ambition. It sometimes it just happens. You'll talk to somebody and they say, well, you know what, I've always been passionate about this since I was a child. So I knew that my life, I would go into this, into this particular, or I'd take this particular journey. I'd go in this direction. Passion is a very, very interesting, but very complicated thing to describe, or to kind of put your finger on where it starts, how you discover it. I would say that, and I can only speak for myself. Some may agree with me, some may disagree. I will say that my passion, I discovered my passion because it was something that I really enjoyed doing repetitively. I'm always repeating it. It was the thing that took me to a space that I found, I actually do enjoy being in this space. I actually do enjoy having this kind of conversation. I actually do enjoy meeting people who have this shared thing, so then as you grow older and as you pinpoint it as a place or a thing or, something tangible or something spiritual that you keep going back to, for me, that's when I said, oh, okay, I'm actually passionate about this particular thing. So that is what it was for me. And also, you know your passion when you try to remove yourself from it, or somebody has tried to remove you from it, and there's a magnetic force that brings you right back, or circumstances or the universe or God brings you right back. That for me is how I could pinpoint and say this particular thing is what I'm passionate about. This is what my passion is.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah, I remember teaching that, for you to be able to identify what your passion is, you should do a personal audit of yourself, and begin to, remember or try to remember what you were doing while you were growing up, unconsciously and consciously you enjoyed them, and you could do them any time of the day, even if you are called early, you wake up early morning, even at night, you'll be happy to do that. I think that's very close to what someone is passionate about. I don't know if you believe that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still on the show, and our guest this afternoon is one of the most influential women in Africa. I'm talking about Anita Erskine, and we have some people on the audience here place, and we have some comments from them. Okay, this one is from what's his name? Governor Emmanuel. Very nice movement. Governor Emmanuel, thank you. This is from, okay, I don't know what that means. Okay, thank you. John Melak Chukuma, good, very good. So please, if you're watching, please send in your comments or your questions so that we can discuss them on the show. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us, and I'm sure you are there. You will remain with us until after the show. Back to you, Anita. I know you have spoken about how you turn your passion into business, and today we have Anita Erskine Media running and doing very well. So what other practical life experiences can you share with us about passion? Who else do you know that turn their passions into businesses and they are doing very well?
Well, I know a lot of people. I mean, I'm not sure that today, right here, I can list them. But I think that for the purpose of the broader audience, I mean, when you talk about a person like, let's just say, for example, Elon Musk, when you talk about someone like Bill Gates, let's just use global examples. I would use, my own Kofi Annan, Komla Domo. These are people who, in how they speak, in how they act, and in how they face the challenges that come their way, you can tell there's no backing down from what they believe in. There is no running away from where they have set their mind and their heart to. And most importantly, no matter what happens, they are absolutely determined to be the top of their game, to be the greatest. To be the greatest is what they do. And to be the greatest, that's what passion will do to you. It'll make you feel like whenever you even feel, or even someone assumes that you've arrived, it will make you feel like there is so much more to be done, because your passion is also a fuel. It runs out because you are a human being, or you run out of ideas, but because it's a fuel and you refuel yourself, it makes you go out there and get even more. So, I mean, these are people who, if you look at them, Kofi Annan of blessed memory, Komla Dumo of blessed memory, and today, let's just say that we're having a global conversation. So you look at Bill Gates. I mean, there are issues that the man has had. There are global economic meltdowns that he has faced, but the concept of wanting to be number one, the concept of wanting to be in a space that he's passionate about keeps him relevant, from one generation to another.
Okay, I like those global examples that you have given. Talking about Bill Gates, I read that Bill Gates was admitted, into Harvard University to read law, but unfortunately he had to abandon his studies in law, to continue, by pursuing his passion for computer and software development, and that is why, by the grace of God, we are celebrating him today. So who knows? Who would have known Bill Gates if he finished as a lawyer?
Well,
are you getting it?
Yes, and that's the thing about passion. It's not to say that you can't pursue anything else. You can. And it's not to say that if you pursue something you are not passionate about, you will not be successful. You will be, depending on who you are. But passion makes the drive easier. It makes the desire to take risks easier. It fuels creativity. It enables ambition. So that's the difference between someone who pursues something because they're passionate about it and who pursues it just because truly it just puts food on the table.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, we are reaching you from the Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa. Then, if you want to know more about us, quickly go to www.ugwumbaleaders.org. Ugwumba is UGWUMBA, then leaders.org. Then to connect with us on social media, just use @Ugwumba Leaders on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Then on YouTube, you'll get to us using this short link, www.bit.ly/Ugwumba channel. On our YouTube channel, you have so many things that you need to learn. You will learn from. That's a huge resource base for young people, entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, young people alike. There's so much you can learn, from how to pitch your ideas before an investor. You watch the past editions of the Leadership Talk Show. There are so many things you can learn and access on our YouTube channel. And again, the link is www.bit.ly/Ugwumba channel. Is there on the screen, so you can visit and enjoy yourself. Now back to Anita. I want us to look at the connection between what is the connecting link between passion, business, and success? Does passion play any role in this in making someone successful? Let me use that word.
Passion will play a role in making you successful because it is your reason for trying over and over and over again. If you don't believe in something, if you're not passionate about something, when you fall, you will get up, but you will pursue something else. You will kind of just throw it at the back of the burner and not really come back to it. The reason passion plays a role in success is because you tell yourself that this is something that you truly believe in, so you don't let go so easily. And it doesn't matter to you when you do it. It doesn't matter to you where. It doesn't matter to you how old you are. You just tell yourself that as long as you are able to accomplish this particular thing before the day you die, then you are successful. So that is what passion will do for you in your pursuit of success. It's always arguable. People will say, but I'm a successful lawyer, but I'm not passionate about law. I went to law school and I became, I graduated and I'm one of the best lawyers. You can actually train yourself to be successful. But anyone who has been successful because they went after what they're passionate about will tell you that it just makes the journey a lot more enjoyable. Not necessarily easier, but a lot more enjoyable. And it also helps you to stop once in a while to take stock of what it is that you have done, where you're coming from, where you need to go. And it helps you remind yourself why you started the journey in the first place. So that is a connection between passion and success.
Okay, now let me share with you some of the things I get from the field each time I speak to. Now, there's something, I don't know if it happens in Ghana, but I know it happens here. There are some doctors, if you take a patient to their hospital, no matter how serious, no matter how critical the case is, if you don't pay any deposit, they will never start treatment. And then there is another category of persons or doctors that if they see that the matter is serious, they don't care about your money. They begin to, treat your patient or the person to save the person's life. But these other people, they don't listen to you until you make payment. So what can you say? Is passion, playing any role in any one of them?
Honestly, I think we're all creatures of circumstance. And I think our circumstances, because we're human, compel us to make certain decisions. Now, at the same time, I've also been in spaces where not that the person wasn't passionate about what they do, but they just had it with a particular circumstance, or it was just, a rough time in their life. I believe in data. I believe in research. And I believe that unless there is proof that the people who do not jump to aid others is actually fueled by, or that action is fueled by lack of passion, then I'm not really sure that I would draw that conclusion. But what I will say is life, maturity, time, life has taught me that we are really creatures of circumstance, and we are sometimes also creatures of habit. And sometimes even what you are passionate about can be completely muddied by an environment, by someone. And I've seen it happen, that someone will be very passionate about something and have so many horrible experiences, and that as a human being, they ran out of patience, they ran out of tolerance. So it really does mold them and convert them into a completely different person you can't recognize. So I would say there is absolutely no basis for that connection, but except the fact that if you also give into situations that take over your life, your mind, then you actually do morph into someone you don't even recognize. So yeah, I mean, we are all inspired by something. Some people want money, some people want notoriety, some people want a breakthrough. We're all inspired by one thing or another. And I would say that as long as we come from different backgrounds, as long as I can't tell what has happened in your morning or in your day for you to treat me quickly or not treat me quickly, I'll just assume that you are a creature of circumstance.
Okay, fantastic. These are debatable, because I also know that in situations where people go into the teaching profession just because they need jobs, they are looking for jobs, they just go in. And a case where people go maybe join the force, they join the police force or army just because they see it as a job opportunity, not just for the passion they have or the love they have for their country. And if you look at them, you see their behaviors are different from those compared to those who on their own willingly volunteer to become teachers. So these are issues that we need to begin to discuss, because
But
if you are okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please, Remy.
Okay, yeah, talking about the teacher I just mentioned, if someone goes into the teaching profession just because he has tried, his best, there is no job anywhere, and the only place he can get a job is in the teaching profession. If you compare him or her with someone that was trained as a teacher and also volunteered to become a teacher, I'm sure their performances are not going to be the same. Do you think so?
But no, I don't. I disagree respectfully, because I also know people who have had no desire to be teachers, who have walked into the teaching profession and who over time have discovered, wow, I never knew that I would discover a whole new side of me. I also know people who have become teachers because they always wanted to teach, who have also realized that, in fact, the space is not for them. So I think, as you said very rightly, it is debatable. And in some instances, I would also say that your personal background, your environment, the people who influence you could either thwart you or help you on the path to where you need to go. So, Africa has a plethora of issues. And because of my involvement with entrepreneurs and young people, I have seen it happen time and time again. When somebody actually does apply for a teaching job because it's their only option, only to realize that actually they like the thought of imparting knowledge on young people, and then they become and they evolve into people they themselves never expected. So you could have a teacher who's a good teacher but who has a very bad attitude, and sometimes that attitude isn't really and truly because they're not passionate, but because for whatever reason they just don't like where they are. So it's as you said very rightly, it is debatable. But I also think that it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of issue. People change for the good, for the worse or for the better. People do change. And circumstances also compel people to give you a side of themselves that you may not like.
Okay, fantastic. That's good. That's good. That's good. Now, but anyway, if we need to stretch that, I think that by the time the person discovers that, oh, I didn't know that I am very good in teaching, it means he has discovered his passion for teaching or his talent. He didn't know that he was chasing something else. Maybe towards the end of his career, he now said, "Oh, wow, I didn't know I was called to become a teacher."
It happens.
Okay, good. Okay, so now I want us to get into the nitty gritty of this discussion. So, how can one turn his or her passion into a business venture? Because we have the audience made up of entrepreneurs and the young leaders. So, I would like you to speak to us about how they can turn their passions into business ventures.
Well, I think it's one thing to have a passion, and it's one thing to also desire to take the kinds of risks that are required for you to convert that passion into a business venture. First of all, when people say, and let me use your platform to say that it's important for us to claim and be open about the fact that we need money. You need money to survive. Passion cannot feed you. Passion can, like I said, it can only fuel you. You have the car, you have the engine, you've got the fuel. And you can't shrug your shoulders and say, oh, well, once I have the fuel, I'm fine. I'll get to point A. I'll move from point A to point B. It doesn't work like that. Passion should start you on that journey. And one of the most important things I've also discovered is the humility enough to ask how to pursue. One of the things that we tend to do if you're a young person is that you think that the passion alone is enough. But the passion will start you on the journey. There is a plan that you need. And most of us we don't like business plans. We don't like having to sit and put pen to paper. But it's essential. You've got to be guarded. You've got to be guided. You've got to be able to ask important questions. So for me, when I was starting my business, I didn't necessarily ask all the questions I should. I wish I had. But what I did was spend time working for the entities that I also realized knew exactly what they were doing. And for every single opportunity I took from it and I added it to what I'm doing. I didn't start off as an entrepreneur. No, I did not. However, that's not to say that you have to start by working for people before you become a great entrepreneur. Absolutely not. But if you do have the opportunity to ask questions, to go to conferences, to pay attention to platforms like this, I would say that this is where you get the individual or the collective nuggets in order to know exactly how to start your business, because you're passionate about sewing. How do I convert that passion for sewing into a viable, into a $1 million, I don't know, fashion brand? Along the way, you've also got to make time to learn the business of what it is you want to provide. So passion alone is not enough. You've got to understand the economics around what you want to pursue. You've got to understand the financials around what you want to pursue. You've got to understand how to manage people so that they help you to achieve the goals you want to achieve with your passion for sewing. So it's again, like I say, some people, you have a conversation with them and they jump from point A to point Z, no problem. Few people though, and others will say, listen, I knew I wanted to be an award-winning fashion designer. I knew I wanted to be an award-winning chef. I knew I wanted to be an award-winning, medical entrepreneur. So in order to move from the fact that I loved sewing, I loved cooking, I had to learn how to build that business. And it's a very important phase that if you miss, sometimes you would have made so many mistakes, it's hard to come back. You know what I mean? So how you turn your passion into a business venture is by first acknowledging the fact that there are steps you have to take. There are steps. So step one, you've got to research the field. What is it that I need? Is it hard skills? Is it soft skills? Is it planning? Is it maybe even somebody to come in to build the business for me? Because I like the creation part and I don't want to have to do the actual business management part. Do I have to look out for somebody who has successfully done this before so I can have a conversation with them? So you don't move from point A to point Z saying, I have the passion, so I'm okay. You need to literally take yourself out of, this passion and then wear a business hat to understand how are businesses like this traditionally built? Or most importantly, if I look at the environment in which I am, is this an environment where my audience exist? Do I have to look to this particular space for an audience and then I'll build the business so that they can benefit from it? Do I have to look outside of my community or my society or my town to feed that audience out there with what it is that I'm passionate about? So these are all things that you have to ask yourself. A lot of the times, a lot of people will say, oh, I love to sew, so I'm going to start sewing, only to realize that the vicinity in which you live doesn't really necessarily need people who sew. Maybe they need people who cook. It's okay to say that my audience is not here. My audience is out of this town or is out of the city. But if I'm going to supply whatever it is, whether it's goods or products or services to this particular audience, what is it that they are looking for from me? Once I'm able to discover what they're looking for, I match it with what I'm passionate about. Also bearing in mind that sometimes the bridge between the passion and the actual business is education.
Fantastic, fantastic. Oh, I want to announce that my president, Ugwumba Uchenwosu, is here with us. Your Excellency, we thank you for joining us. And look at what he says. Love, I'm proud of being proud of what you do is the key to every business. Thanks, madam, for this wonderful lecture. Wonderful. Your Excellency, we thank you for being part of the show. And I also have Biliki Sugarba. Hello, everyone. Excited about the session and the topic. Biliki Sugarba, thank you. This is from Mojishola Ogundipe. Good afternoon. How are you, Mojishola? Thank you for joining us. We are excited that you're part of the show. Your Excellency, we thank you so much for being part of the show. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're there, please keep bringing your questions or your comments, and we are going to, read them for her to respond, or to, we read them out, so for everyone to see what you have to say about the show this afternoon. Thank you so much. So let's continue with the discussion. By the way, if you want to connect with our guest, Anita, just go on social media and search her with the Anita Erskine. The Anita, THE Anita ERSKINE is scrolling on the screen at THEANITAERSKINE. Good. Just add the to her name, one word, and you get connected with her on IG, on Twitter, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. Very good. So it's good you connect with her after this so that the conversation can continue. Thank you so much. Okay, the discussion is still on. So talking about business sustainability, because it's a pity that thousands and millions, if not millions, of businesses, especially startups, they fail, few years after they were launched. So now we want to know, does passion play any role in sustaining a business?
Again, passion will make you go out there and discover the best form of business to build, so that you can pursue this business inspired by this passion for the rest of your life. A lot of people don't want to have to admit the fact that they are not built to build businesses, or they are not built to run businesses. It is something that you have to really be honest with yourself. You know what? Some people don't want to have to go into the office. If they are creatives, they just want to be able to sit in front of the computer, sit in their space and create without the need to do what they don't like. Listen, I don't like finances. I absolutely don't. But I have to study it so I can understand it. You know what I mean? So if you want to build a sustainable business, first of all, you have to admit to yourself what you can do and what you cannot do. You don't have to be the HR manager, the finance manager, the cleaner, the cook, are all in one. You don't have to. Maybe when you start a business and you don't have the money to hire these people, you have to lean on friends and family to support you with those elements. Or you have to learn how to do them and force yourself to do it. If you want your business to be sustainable, you have to find the necessary support, the necessary resources. And resources aren't just in terms of financial resources. The resources can be in the form of, an uncle who's a lawyer to give you, some kind of help with reading your contracts. Resources can be, your father who's a retired accountant, and you ask him to help you to, put your 1+1 together. Resources can be anybody in your network whom you can lean on and say, you know what, I really don't know how to read this particular thing in this contract. What does it mean? So if you want your business to be sustainable, the first thing you have to understand is, even though person A and B are not necessarily as passionate at what you're doing as you, they may have the hard skills, the know-how to help you to mold this particular business or this part of the business so that it can go from year to year, strength to strength. But for a lot of entrepreneurs, as long as it's passion, and as long as it's something that we love to do, we think we are the beginning and the end of the business. And that is where this, the problem comes in. If you are the beginning and the end of the business, by the way, when you die, the business will go with you. So which one do you want to do? Do you want your passion to lead you to build a business that then can uphold your legacy? Do you want your passion to help you to build a business that, even if, death is a long way away, from year to year, you are building and you're growing? For that, you need to ask a lot of questions. For that, you need to seek a lot of advice. For that, you need to plan adequately. And that is the only way that your business can be sustainable. So yes, does passion play a role in making sure that business is sustainable? Absolutely. Without the passion, you don't desire to go out and get the help to build a business or to sustain the business. Without the passion, you really don't care whether the business survives a year or two. So the passion should be there. It should inform you, it should guide you, but it should also be the real reason why you go out there to seek the necessary help, because you don't want this business to die ever.
That's correct. Passion is the drive, that keeps you moving, that keeps the business running. You don't want it to die. I like that word. I like that. Back on the comment section, I have, popular Nollywood star, Gentle Jack is here. Gentle Jack, thank you. Welcome, President. Thank you so much, Gentle Jack, the popular Nollywood star in Nigeria. Okay, this one is Elojo Yusuf. You are welcome, sir. Okay, good. Still talking about our president. Elojo is the coordinator of Ugwumba Women Academy in the whole of North Central Zone in Nigeria. Elojo, we thank you for joining us. Good. Gentle Jack, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Get all of that Nollywood stars to join us, because we have a celebrity in our midst here this afternoon. Thank you so much. Okay, good. Still talking about the issue of the moment. You're talking about how you can turn your business and your passion into a business. So from your personal experiences, what are the challenges people face in turning their passions into business ventures?
It's moving fast. It's moving fast because, and we all have that feeling. We wake up in the morning and an idea has crossed our mind. It aligns with our passion, so we must do it today. We must see the results right now. That speed that you want to take is what usually, then becomes the major challenge. Not to say that it is not good to pursue speed, because after all, when you see an opportunity, you might say, listen, I have to take advantage of this opportunity. COVID happened and people moved fast because nobody knew how long it would last. Nobody knew when it would end. They just knew that they saw an opportunity to align their passion with a solution for a problem that none of us foresaw. So, when you're looking at the challenges, you tell yourself that the major challenge I might face. In fact, let me backtrack. You need to know yourself. Know what your weaknesses are. Usually, your challenges, your failures are aligned with your personal weaknesses. So I use myself as an example. I hate numbers. You couldn't convince me to spend a day, an hour looking at numbers. So I had to enlist the help and the support of a respected accountant, who then sat down and showed me the challenges I was having with my business. And before I knew it, those challenges were financial, but the root cause of those challenges were because I hated to pay attention to my numbers. So I use myself, that particular instance as an example, that you are going to face a challenge that is most likely aligned with what you don't like to do. But let the passion help you to say that, because I don't like this particular thing, I'm going to find the person who can help me with it. I'm going to find a reliable person and someone who believes in my dream to help me with this particular thing. And trust me, it just alleviates the challenges from there.
Okay. Okay, good. I just remember that you were or you are the host of the Jack Ma's entrepreneurship program for Africa. Has it come or is it about to come?
We started in 2019, so we are in our third year right now.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is the 2021 edition, has it come and gone, or?
Yes, it has started now. So we are at our top 20 finalists at the moment.
Oh, so my young people cannot sign up. Is that what it means?
They can sign up in 2022, which I believe starts in the first quarter of the year. Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, good. I thought the 2021 is still open for them to be part of.
It started in April.
Oh, okay, so let's talk about it, because it just occurred to me now. So can you tell us what is it about? What is it about? What do you call it? Let me remember the name. Africa Netpreneur Prize Initiative.
Exactly. You know, Remy, there's an army of young men, young women, actually, forget about the word young, an army of Africans who believe in solving the continent's problems, because some of the applicants are well above 50. Oh. These are people who are molding their lives to be solutions to the continent's problems. So made in Africa, for Africa, with Africa. The Jack Ma Foundation, the Africa Netpreneur Prize, is designed to uncover who these entrepreneurs are, not by virtue of pinpointing them, but by virtue of allowing them to apply, to say, listen, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, this is what I believe in, and this is what winning this money will do for my business. So essentially, it's feeding into the dream of the African, the African entrepreneur. Also knowing that a lot of the times people say that, and 9 to 5 is great. After all, when you become an entrepreneur, you still hire people and they still work 9 to 5. But being able to go after your dream, which is, listen, I dream that my community will have fresh, clean drinking water. It inspires you to start a business, a water refinery, for all I care. So when you go back and look at the people who have been in the top 10, the top 20, past years, you can see that each one of them has a problem that they desired to solve using their business, using their skill, and then using their passion. So that's what it is. It is one person, or it's a group of 10 people who end up in the top 10 who have individual stories, extraordinary stories, but who have also built businesses that solve any one of our African problems. And that really helped to catapult the continent of Africa, so doing.
Okay, let me, I got interested because we have a similar thing that we do here at the Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa, and we call ours Ugwumba Enterprise Challenge. Ugwumba Enterprise Challenge. It's meant for Africa, but we are still limiting it to the Nigerian community because of the COVID. Last year, we wanted to go Africa, but because of the COVID, we started to make it. Make it Nigerian again because it's critical for us for the finalists to come and do physical pitching. And due to the protocols, we didn't want to bring people from across the African continent to come to Abuja or to Lagos for the final. So that's why I got interested with the Africa Netpreneur Prize something. So it's something very interesting. Just like you said, for us, we're also giving young people between 18 and 30 years the opportunity to really showcase what they have, the innovative ideas and skills and ideas that they have that can, become the next big things to be celebrated in Nigeria. And by the way, one of the persons watching is she won the prize last year. I'm talking of Bilikisu Garuba. Bilikisu Garuba, the one that said she's excited about the session and topic. She won the prize last year, and what she does is just turn non-biodegradable waste into beautiful interior decors and beautiful designs. That's what she does, and it was fantastic. Out of over 500 young people that participated, the judges found her to be the winner of the prize. And today she's building a serious business and got connected her with some of our partners in the US, and a lot is happening. So it's a similar thing that we are doing, Jack Mal is also doing. And I'm happy that we are getting to know you. You are the host of the show. And maybe you are going to connect us with that foundation so that we can see how, how we can leverage on each other's expertise and do something better for the African continent. Thank you so much. That's why I got interested when I saw that. Okay, good, good. So do you have anything to say?
No. I think that, listen, the continent has the power to solve its own problems. And forgive me if I say that those solutions will come from these entrepreneurs. I have seen over 100,000 applications over the past few years. And yes, I mean, only a certain group of people win the money, but you are always consistently blown away by what people are doing. And it's a moment of pride. I also believe in partnerships and collaboration. So as you said, we'll see where the parallel lines are, what the connections will be, and then, basically just put the dots together. But ultimately, it's important for us to congratulate our entrepreneurs, because it's not easy being an entrepreneur. A lot of them don't have the funding, but they have the drive. And I believe that with projects like yours and with Africa's Business Heroes, Africa's Netpreneur Prize, we will give these entrepreneurs something to consistently live for, work for, and we need to encourage them, because they are the ones who are solving our problems. They are the true leaders, and they need to be congratulated.
Good. And this year is the 4th edition of the Ugwumba Enterprise Challenge. And this year is going to be bigger and better than what we had in the 3 previous editions. So I'm inviting you to come and host our show in Nigeria. Fantastic. Okay, Evangelist Betty, thank you. She's here on the show. Evangelist Betty John, Profound. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Good. So if you're there, please, if you have any questions for our guest, please don't hesitate to put them up. I'm sure she is ready to answer your questions. Okay. So once again, like I said, you are reaching you from the Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa, here from our headquarters in Abuja. If you want to connect with us or know more about us, quickly go to our website at www.ugwumbaleaders.org. On Facebook, we are available at facebook.com/UgwumbaLeaders. The same for IG, the same for Twitter. Then on YouTube, we are available. You can use this short link, www.bit.ly/Ugwumba channel. Like I said before, a lot of resources, a lot of things that will empower you. You will find them on this YouTube channel. So quickly, don't hesitate, go there and enjoy yourself. Again, like I said before, to reach our guests, just go on social media, use at THE Anita Erskine. That is how you can connect with her on IG, connect with her on Twitter, connect with her on Facebook, so that you can further this discussion and other important partnership discussions. Wonderful. Now, talking about passion and paid jobs. So we want to know, many young people abandon their passions for the regular jobs, 9-to-5 jobs. So what is your advice? What do you advise them?
Feed yourself first. Make sure you can pay your rent. Make sure you can feed yourself. Make sure you can survive. Make sure that you have peace of mind. And sometimes that's what a 9-to-5 will give you. It'll give you the peace of mind. It'll give you the security. What is creativity? What is passion? When you are struggling, when it's painful, when you don't know what tomorrow brings. Of course, passion is also about taking risks. But what I tell every young person is, your life is the most important, number one. So make sure that if it's a 9-to-5 that would really help you to pay your rent so that you don't worry about where you are living, so be it. If it's a 9-to-5 that is helping you feed yourself, and some of you are also taking care of your families. If it means that you are sacrificing your passion to ensure that your families are fed, school fees is paid, absolutely. We're speaking to a variety of people. So I would say, listen, if you're fresh out of university, for example, and there is something you really want to pursue, I always say the trick is to find where you can, identify that money, that small money that helps you to start your business. And sometimes for a lot of people, that small money is in the 9 to 5. Then you tell yourself that, listen, I'm going to work this job for 2 years and I'm going to put that money aside and start a business. So yes, I mean, a lot of people will say, oh, you know what, go after what you dream for and etc. But I will say that look at your coat and cut it according to your size. If it's a 9 to 5 that gives you the peace of mind, that allows you to start a life without worrying, where am I sleeping today? What am I going to eat today? Then do it. But don't abandon the plan. Know that there is a bigger plan. When I started, like I said, I didn't start by owning a business. No, I started by working wherever I needed to. And sometimes a 9 to 5 also gives you a certain foundation, also gives you a certain kind of business experience that other than that, sometimes you don't get. So we're all different. Having said that, we're all different. There are people who've never worked 9 to 5 and they are exceptional entrepreneurs. And there are people who have had to go through the 9 to 5 to learn a few tricks to become exceptional entrepreneurs. But what I say, number one, don't only listen or look at what Anita has done and say, well, you know what, she finished school and then she started her business. No, look at yourself. Look at your environment. Look at your family dynamic. Look at your financial situation. Look at your health situation before you make the decision that is suitable for you. So if 9 to 5 is what helps you, do your 9 to 5 and survive. Because without your survival, you don't have a business.
Okay. Okay. Now let me bring you to the educational cycles or a sector. If passion plays this kind of important role in one's life, now does it mean that before you choose your course of study in the university, you should be able to look at what actually you are passionate about, so that it will be in line with your course of study? Is it something we can begin to advocate for?
Yeah, well, it's the ideal situation, but it's not always the most practical situation. I didn't pursue studies in TV production. I didn't pursue studies because at the time when I wanted to go to school, what was available to me was a different kind of course, but I wanted to pursue my tertiary education. And, I find that a lot of people will say that, well, you know what, I want to be a carpenter. But when I said I wanted to be a carpenter, my parents said, are you mad? You're going to go to university and get a degree. You know what I mean? And they went and got a political science degree, only to come back and go to a polytechnic to get some skills in carpentry. So, life has a funny way. If you're passionate about something and you pray hard for it, life has a funny way of bringing you back. But I would say that education is key. Even if you're pursuing a political science degree and you want to be a carpenter, in that course, there is something you will learn. Analytics for all I care, reading and being able to analyze material, which is not a waste, which always, some way, somehow finds a way of being valuable to you, even if not in terms of your business as a person. So I want young people to be able to pursue courses in line with their passion, because after all, at the end of the day, it helps us all study easier. It helps us all to do better. But in some instances and in some places, there is a long journey to being able to pursue a course that is connected with what you want to do. And it's a big conversation for policymakers, for governments, for institutions. It's a big conversation to be had. But today, as we speak, I know that there are people in university who want to be plumbers, who want to be contractors, but they are studying political science. With respect to them and their journey, I would say that sometimes look at your environment and see what you can pick out of the environment. Perhaps, yes, you're studying political science, but perhaps you being in that university campus or on that campus, there is something there that some value that you can pick. So, number one, I advocate that young people should be able to pursue further education aligned with their passion. But I also speak to the young people who have found themselves in situations where they are not pursuing courses aligned, and I advise them to look for the key lessons in that space that can empower them or that can really, guard and guide them some way, somehow.
Okay, now I know you have been sincere all the while. So now let me ask you, be sincere to yourself. If you had identified or if you had gone into media maybe 10 years ago, what do you think would have happened to you, or where would you have been if you had gone into media 10 years ago?
You are asking the wrong person, because I got into media at the age of 9. I have known nothing else. that is how crazy my life is. At the age of 9, I had my first media job. But let me find a practical answer to what you're saying.
Okay.
I had to have many important conversations with myself, with people I trusted, both old and young and same age, about my dreams and ambitions. And sometimes guidance is important. If I had pursued media only 10 years ago, prior to that, perhaps I would have been a lot more learned about the space. I would have been a lot more smart about the space. Life has had it such that I started many years ago at a very young age, but that also gave me the ability to do what I'm doing now, the way I'm doing. So that is why I'm always careful to say it's not one size fits all. And my path, my passion to purpose, to prosperity may not necessarily replicate that of somebody else, but I'll share what is most important. 10 years ago, being at that age that I was, I realized the importance of leaning towards support, being honest with myself and telling myself what I knew I could not do, and asking very boldly for help in areas that I needed to be strengthened. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, that's correct. Now, but I know that to be frank, entrepreneurs, they are known for being resilient and for taking risk. Are you getting it? So if you had discovered, for example, that this is where your calling is, and entered into it headlong without the fear of uncertainties and all of that, I'm sure that you would have been all over the place, by now. So, but that's by the way. So,
the matter is, I was. It's not that being in the space for a long time made me any more, it did make me resilient. I was able to see the evolution of the industry. And the passion forced me to reinvent myself every opportunity I got. But 10 years ago, if you'd said to me, listen, Anita, pay attention to A, B, and C 10 years ago, perhaps I wouldn't listen to you. Perhaps I'll say, oh, Remy, I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Perhaps I'll say, yes, I've been in the industry a long time. I know what I'm doing. But 10 years ago, what was the role of social media? 2 years ago, what was the role of COVID? You know what I mean? So there's something to be said about the ability to keep an open mind. You're going into a space, you don't know what you'll need, but you do know that you want to absolutely be the leader in that space. But to be a leader, you also have to listen to what other people are sharing with you. So that's perhaps one of the most important things that I can share. 10 years ago, I would look back and say, ask questions unapologetically. Ask them.
So that means mentoring is also critical in this.
In everything we do. The right person with the right mind, with the right experience can cut out a lot of stress.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Now, back in Ghana, you are celebrated as one of the 100 most influential women in Ghana. So what can you tell us? How come so what did you do? What did you do to earn that recognition? Briefly, can you tell us?
I did what you just asked me to do. I was honest and truthful. And when things were falling apart, I said things are falling apart. When things were good, I said things are good. When I needed help, I asked for help. And I guess inspiration really, truly is your ability to make someone say, it's okay that I'm failing. Because once I believe in myself, I can pick myself up. That's inspiration. Inspiration is, okay, Anita said she didn't have this, but she did this to get what she needed. Okay, I'm going through this. I can do the same thing. Inspiration is humility. Being able to share yourself unapologetically because somebody sitting somewhere will benefit from it. And so I thank the people who rated me as one of the most inspirational. What that does for me is it urges me on to say it's very okay to be yourself. The question about sustainability is that Be yourself, be truthful, be transparent, be original, be all these things that help people know that you are not just a powerhouse, but you are true to yourself. That's what inspiration for me means. The truth of the matter is where people get inspired to be better versions of themselves.
Okay, so that's for Ghana. So again, for the African continent, you are also recognized as one of the most influential women. So how are you influencing young people and women for good?
My
Leaving Ghana
platform,
now, coming to the bigger continent. Good.
my platforms are designed to allow people to have the conversations that inspire or that direct or that helps to mold. What I am is a TV producer. I am an actress. I am somebody who has these platforms. And what I use them is more or less a vessel and a channel to help people hear and listen and learn. So influence comes from being able to have a certain key. When you're influential, it means you have a key to something. And what my key is to ensure that nobody leaves any space where I have influence, or nobody leaves any space where I have been without feeling that they've been influenced to be a better version of themselves. So I use TV, I use radio, I use print. Any of my platforms is designed to tell people that they can be great. They just have to know who they are, and they have to go for it.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's been wonderful. It's already 1 hour. We've been talking with Anita Erskine on the show this afternoon. We are so grateful for her thoughtful insights on the issue of how to turn your passion into a business. It's been really wonderful, and we are privileged to have you, Anita. So happy to have you. This is 1 hour. We took your time, and I'm sure people that are watching you in Ghana know that it's not easy to take your 1 hour. You keep you seated. It's a big sacrifice, and we appreciate you for doing that for us. Thank you so much. On behalf of my president, Ugwumba Uchemusu, and the leadership of Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa, I want to say thank you so much. And I'm sure that we are going to further this conversation outside here, so that we can do some things together in the future, to empower the people of Africa. I think this is something we have to do. Thank you so much for your time. Do you have any other thing to say before I let you go?
I just say that let's not forget Africa is a beautiful continent. Let's be unapologetic about our dreams and our ambitions. If you have a passion, don't let go of it. Let it feed you. Let it be the reason you wake up every day. But also know that your passion is an enabler. You can be great. You will be great. Just be true to yourself, and you will conquer.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, and God bless you.